Hi. Recently, there was a poll on my channel where you were deciding if you want to pick between Counter Fighter or which set should you buy. This is very forgotten series, I would say. I made already one video about this, and my girlfriend told me that I should probably do another one since that's very odd to have only one video about this on the channel. So today I decided to talk about the set, which is very, very old. I would say those two sets, are probably not available at a decent price while recording this video, but for all of you Unmatched lovers, I want to make the comparison between those two sets, because there might be people who are like, oh man, I really like the Jurassic Park, and I would love to get at least one set because they are so expensive nowadays. Yeah, bro, unfortunately, license ran out, expired, and we have to deal with the very high prices, bro. So today I will do my best to compare those two sets and just show you which of them is worth your attention more. So yep, let's go. Those two sets will be Jurassic Park, Raptors versus InGen. You cannot see the title because the grass is too tall. Holy, we need to higher the hay lower. Okay, and another one is the grass lower, sorry. And the next one is the T-Rex versus Sattler. Those two sets are pretty epic, they're pretty cool. However, they seem very cool from the perspective of the person who is not owning them, because holy, you can play T-Rex, you can play Raptors, everybody wants to play a dinosaur, so that seems cool. However, as a person who owns those two sets, I'm gonna be totally honest, the charm is can be gone very, very quickly. When you are playing a lot of those dinosaurs. Me, myself, 2 days, I'm not really finding myself playing them. I mean, I like T-Rex and all of those fighters overall, I like to play them, but I'm not finding myself taking them out of the box and playing them just for fun that often. I mean, I still do that, but it's not like they are superior or anything. So yeah, to not waste your time, let's go straight to the comparisons. And how we will be ranking them. First of all, I'll be ranking the characters. I'll probably give them 1 to 10 from and the scale from 1 to 10 when it comes to fun and competitive. Maps also, there are only 2 for those two, so that's easier to rank. Then we got art, which is very important for our match. Some of those sets are just beautiful, and art is playing very major role in that. Then how fun to play. Yeah, very self-explanatory. This is just how happy you will be when you're playing certain fighter from the box. And then how good in competitive play, because some of you might be a competitive sweats and maybe oh, I really want to play very competitive fighters because yeah, I just want to win. So yeah, I will also try to tell you which one to get. This is very easy by looking at those two of those sets, but yeah. So let's jump straight to the comparison, shall we? First, guys, that we'll be discussing are probably the most exciting ones from the two boxes, except T-Rex, and those are Raptors. Raptors are... You are basically controlling 3 fighters at the same time. They have different figurines, as you can see. They're pretty cool. My favorite is probably this one. Or this one is cool, when you are playing a little with the figurines and you are imagining that they are eating somebody. So this is very cool because you can just place them on other fighters. And this one is pretty boring, but yeah. All of them have 7 health and 3 movement. And their ability is to basically adding +1 to their attacks whenever, you can see, whenever other raptor is surrounding, you know. So if you are surrounded the opponent with 2 raptors, the attacks will be +1, and if you surrounded the opponent with 3 raptors, their attacks will be +2. So yeah. So it's basically a +2 ability, but now with other condition. But it's still right. When it comes to deck, raptors are pretty simple. This fighter is overall like not that complicated. It's very like, yeah, it's very simple. You're basically a rushing character who wants to get the opponent out of the board as quickly as possible. And how are you doing this? You are constantly like hunting the opponent. It's not like you are waiting somewhere or whatever. I mean, you can wait somewhere and regenerate your hand, but the main strategy overall is to get close to the opponent. The best scenario is in the early turns. Like in the early turns, if you surround the opponent, especially a single fighter opponent, he's like dead. And then you play cards like They Remember, which are giving you action. And yeah, giving you action, and Clever Girls, which also gives you action. And you are doing this huge like chain reaction. As you can see, you have 7 action gains in the deck, not counting this card. So you will be spamming the opponent, the hell out of the opponent, I'm trying to say. He might die because he will run out of defenses, and that's pretty fun. They're very straightforward. This is basically Raptors. And what you also doing is you are hitting very high, because this can go up to 6, this can go up to 7. And you also have like these cards, you have the movement, action gains, and pink damage also here. So as you can see, this is very like aggro focus character, like not even the aggro focus, because I mean they are aggro, but I would say they are the rushing character, I would like to call it, because they want to eliminate the opponent as quick as possible, and if they want, this is kind of bad. And I feel that's pretty thematic, because if you will be raptors, I guess it's very accurate that you want to hunt your prey very like quickly, and you're basically a pack hunters, so your ability is, and all of your cards are like, you have to hunt together, otherwise the opponent will not be that injured. So that's pretty thematic. And I would say raptors, when it comes to play, they are very cool. I like to play them when I want to like challenge myself to see how fast I can rush the opponent, especially against fighters who have like who are like single fighters, or they have like one sidekick. This is like great. So when it comes to fun, they are basically something like, maybe not, I will not give them that high score, because if you will just fail to rush them early, the whole like game is now very boring, because now you have to back off and regenerate your hand, which is kind of problematic. This is definitely a design of the old Unmatched, because no card draw, those boys, like no card draw. And yeah, this is very boring. So I would say there are like 6 out of 10 when it comes to fun. Because when it hits, bro. But if it will not hit, it is just bad. So Raptors, yep, 6 out of 10 when it comes to fun. When it comes to competitive, Raptors are used as counterpick to stronger fighters. You may know that they are good against Sherlock, because they can, like I said, rush him early, and he has like he could like have no defenses or bad defenses, and now they can just combo him to death. That's pretty cool. So against those fighters, he's great. They are great because they can rush them early. However, if the opponent has only like 2 sidekicks, even 1 half sidekicks, the Raptors are just, in my opinion, not viable, because you will not. I mean, they are viable, but you will be wasting too many cards on just dealing with those sidekicks, and at this point, it's just not worth it to pick them. You can just pick a character who is dealing well with the sidekicks. So Raptors are very single target directed. They are just specify and eliminating 1 targets, what I'm trying to say, and action them to death. Even if the opponent has like 1 sidekick with a lot of health, our Raptors are still viable because the opponent at most maps will be not able to just block himself. So Raptors competitively, definitely a 5, because they might be good against some fighters. Again, especially the, like I said, single sidekick or only single fighters. But against rest of the roster, like a lot of sidekicks or I don't know, huge defenses, they're just bad. So yeah, and when it comes to art, I mean, art is alright. I like that it's like more symbolic than anything else. But I would say art is pretty basic. I know a lot of people are maybe not glazing. I mean, they are glazing. Let's be honest. Are glazing the old art of Unmatched. It's awesome, but I would say it's like, yeah, just pretty simple. Like some of those cards, while they're symbolic, like those puzzles here, the clock here, and all that's cool. But it's not like you see some awesome things going on those cards. So yeah, the art is for me like 4 out of 10, but I still like it. Next character is Muldoon Ingen, whose ability is to placing traps in his zone, and then if opponent will step on these traps, he will take damage, 1 damage, and then you will draw a card. So he has like 3 workers, and they all can move like 3 spaces and 14 health. Maldon is a character that is very strategical. Like if you think Medusa is strategical, or Robin Hood or Eredin are strategical, nah. Maldon is probably the most strategical character in the game when it comes to controlling the battlefield currently. Which is, in my opinion, not that very thematic, unfortunately, because I don't know. I don't think he was like actually placing traps to catch the dinosaurs in them. He seemed more of the like actual hunter who will just shoot them and hunt them, not just place traps. So the ability is kind of, and also I don't know if he was like controlling the whole squad of workers. So it's like you are playing some type of tactical character, but the theme is weird. Okay, so the deck. The deck is like, you can see, pretty underpowered. Like only 4s are the highest, and yeah, those cards might be high, but you have to like meet the conditions, which are not that simple to meet sometimes. And the highest will be hitting probably is, I mean, this card can be bumped up to very high numbers, but I doubt that we'll be able to get higher than 6 with this one. So yeah, 6 is probably the highest. Yeah, you can block a lot with those cards, and yeah, bait with regroups, feint. You have the card that allows you to take your workers back and place a lot of traps at 1 turn, which means you will be building this little bunker somewhere in the map, and opponent will be basically conquering this bunker, which is pretty cool. A lot of people like this playstyle because with Maldon you can just sit and relax, just be fine. And also you have some fatigue tools, so it's not like you will be sitting there and drawing a lot of cards. No. You have remote detonation, which basically deletes one of your traps, and yeah, it's basically a free action. So you're able to play this little fatigue game, which is pretty satisfying. But overall, his deck, in my eyes, in today's Unmatched, is pretty like underpowered. Like, people are playing this guy at competitives, and he's very good in competitives. I mean, he's 50-50, like Raptors. They're working against half of the roster, and against half of the roster they are losing, like hardly. He's winning against half of the roster again, and he's losing against half of the roster, like, badly. So he's more... he's losing against all of those fighters who are, I don't know, have better strategical game. They have like, they're ranged, but against fighters who are like melee, he's like fair, like straight up. You can just delete those fighters because, I mean, not all of them, but yeah, you are deleting them somewhat because now you can, like I said, place yourself somewhere on the map place traps all around you, and now they are cannot like get to you. So if that sounds interesting to you, that you can just basically build your little, not kingdom, but stronghold somewhere on the map and sit there and be totally chill. And also you have cards to back opponent away. With rending shot you can just shoot them and they're like back off. So that's pretty cool. And if you like this type of playstyle, this little strategical playstyle with like building your stronghold and then sending your workers to deal damage with those cards, if you like this idea, consider buying him. However, I'm not that big fan of him. Maybe it's because I played too much of him, like actually too much. When there's a tournament, I almost always like brought this boy, and I play a lot of him, so now I'm probably bored of him, but he is very fun, like actually fun in the strategical game. Like his like game plan is actually very fun. So I would say he's also somewhere like 6. He might be even like 9 if you will just get those perfect placements of traps. You will just trap the opponent, constantly like control his game. Then this guy is 9 of even 10 out of 10. But sometimes the game is just dragging, man. Actually dragging, and you are just not seeing your win condition unless they will just like step in all of your traps, which is just okay, I guess. So yeah, when it comes to fun, I will give him like 6 probably, maybe 5 even. But be aware that he might be even 10 out of 10 when it comes to fun if the games will just hit. And then competitively, same like Raptors, I would give him like 6 or 7, because maybe 7 probably, because he counters more than Raptors for sure. Because Raptors are countering the, you know, the characters that are slower, that have less defenses, that are a single target characters. He's countering like almost all of those melee matchups, except someone like Eredin. But yeah, that's why he's good. Almost all melee matchups are just being destroyed by him. And when it comes to art, I have like similar feelings like Raptors. I mean, I like the idea of I like the combination of the orange and other colors like this gray or bronze. So this is pretty cool. I like this art, probably more than Raptors, but it's not like I'm not crazy about this art, honestly. It's for a similar reason as I was not really excited about Raptors art. So yeah, when it comes to art, I'm not a big fan of it. And now we get to the map of this like set, which is Raptors Paddock. Very like I would just hide it. Very like common map to use. A lot of people are loving it. It's well beloved. I also like this map. It's pretty cool. The fact that you can just push opponent down there because there are those paths. Then if opponent will just get there, he cannot like go back up. He just stays in the cage. So if you trap someone in the cage and then shoot him from those spots, it's pretty cool. I very like this spot because if you're playing a character like Maldun, you can just sit in this like little room on the tower and just shoot everyone basically on like half of the map, which is awesome. I like to play like all of those range fighters and place them there. Like if you will place Medusa here and then surround yourself with harpies, like I mean, this is pretty cruel. And also I like those spots because you can just hide there basically, and at that point opponent will be not able to like reach you from this spot, so he need to like send walkers there. And also it's not like end of the world if someone is hiding there or there, because as you can see this map is like pretty small, and that's like awesome because you will not like need to boost, and you're playing fighters that have free movement in this box, so they will always be like able to reach the other fighter somewhere. Like, yeah, I like this map. Map is overall in my eyes still like 8 out of 10. I'm loving it. Before recording this video, I was like, I'll probably place it like very low because I am like so done with this map, because also I was using it for too much. Like probably half of my games are on this map. Maybe not half, but a lot of them. But yeah, nah, it's still like the GOAT, the actual GOAT, 10 out of 10 map probably. And then we'll get to the other set, which is the T-Rex versus Sattler. T-Rex is the large fighter, which means if she is on two spaces, she is adjacent to like all of those spaces, adjacent to those spaces. So that's pretty cool. Also, she can hit for two spaces away, like Miss Marvel or Muhammad Ali, which is great because yeah, some of those fighters will be just forced to get close to you. So that's cool. Hmm. And yeah, T-Rex is moving one space and have 27 health, so that's a lot, but moving one space is definitely a disadvantage. You have T-Rex is overall a aggro character. This is basically like you would play Bloody Mary, but now you have built all of those cool things into basically a dinosaur, like I would like to say. Or you can call it a Luke Cage, but now with auto damage. So, with T-Rex, you're basically like going in, boosting a lot of times your movement because one move is like very bad, and then slapping the opponent with fives, even more fives with auto damage and with actions. Like a lot of those cards are also dealing you damage. That's why you have like huge health bar, because you might like, oh, why is she having like 27 health? Yeah, that's because you are constantly dealing yourself damage. Like there's a lot of those cards. Like this card will hurt you for sure because you want to do these action gains. Also, your ability is to draw a card at the end of the turn, so it's basically like you're forced to draw a card. So fatigue is always like no an option. You have a lot of cards that helps you with your one movement, and those are closer than she appears. So you get to move one additional space and gain an action, so one movement for free, so cool. You have Ripples in the Water. I love this card, it's so awesome. It also discards the opponent card, so that's pretty cool. And then you get to take some of your fives or something else back with your 65 million years of gut instinct. Overall, pretty aggressive character. It's pretty menacing when you will play this like girl on the table and you will see, oh my god, this miniature is actually big. Yes, it's actually big. Even the T-Rex box is actually bigger than other two fighters box. And yeah, I would say this box, this fighter is fun. She's actually fun. But it's similar case to Raptors, because with Raptors, like I said, sometimes you will be able to just rush the opponent, that's cool. And sometimes the opponent will just survive you, and that's not cool, because now you have to sit there and probably wait unless you will get cards to actually kill him or he will kill you. With her, it's very similar. If you are playing against fighters who you can just go in and rush with fives, it's pretty cool and pretty fine that you're constantly chasing them, action gain, 5 value them, auto damage them with this and this, and they're just overall like scared, running away and all. And in other matchups, you are just not able to reach them. You are just constantly searching for closer than she appears, ripples in the water, and that's overall not fun. You are boosting with your fine cards, so it's even worse. Because now you are losing those cards, those cards, those cards. Pretty bad. So she is sometimes very like, she's like hit or miss when it comes to fun. That's why I will give her also like 5 probably or 6, because if the matchup is fun while playing her, it's actually fun, and at that point it's 10 out of 10. But if matchup is not fun, when opponent is just totally chill and running away, shooting you from very like far away, constantly running away, you are never able to get to them, then this is actually like 2 out of 10 experience, like actually unfun. So that's T-Rex for you. Probably 5 out of 10 or 6. So as you can see, fun, very like cool looking figurine, very cool playstyle, but in reality sometimes it will be like very unfun, unfortunately. Also, you don't have a lot of defenses, so be ready for that. But you have huge health bar, so okay. When it comes to competitive, T-Rex is a monster sometimes, but also that depends on the map. If you will just get good map, then T-Rex is a monster, and some fighters can just do nothing about her because yeah, they might hit her, but she has like huge health bar, and also she can decide to never hurt herself, and she will just hit them, hit them all the time, and opponent will just die. Like if you are a 14 health character, only two of those cards are like lowering your health to 7, which is bad. 8, which is very bad for you because now you lose like half of your health, and that's not even all of she's doing, because this is ignoring value, this is action gaining, this is 5. So yeah, in competitive games she might be a monster, but it totally depends on the map. If T-Rex will get bad map, she is just losing. That's why I will give her like 5 probably in competitive. She's like she is fine, but but only if you will get the good map. If you are choosing the map, then T-Rex is free in some maps against some fighters, for against most of them actually. But at the wrong map, you are just losing. So 50-50. And then we get Sattler. Sattler, when it comes to theme, and T-Rex is very thematic also. When it comes to theme, Sattler is probably the worst designed fighter in the whole Unmatched. Like, why is she even fighting? I mean, it's hard even to imagine what she's doing. I mean, I like to imagine that she's like closing doors on the opponent, or just electrocuting him with some systems, or I don't know, riding him up with the car, whatever. So when it comes to theme, this character is terrible. But when it comes to like actual deck, this is pretty fun, because your ability is to place the token at when you are moving all the time, and if you have like 5 tokens or even less, you can activate some of your effects. Like this, you are just deleting all of your tokens and add the value of them to this, so it's become 7. Pretty fun. You can deal damage to a fighters adjacent to your tokens, which is the like very like important part of your character. And also you get to heal for a ton with this, and the healing is probably the most fun part about Sattler, because she can heal for like 15 and then plus something from this card that Malcolm has. And that's pretty fun, being this tanky like girl who is like sitting somewhere not caring about taking damage. Like I like to play her in like, for example, Taste to Amaze, because I know that she will just always survive. You can just place her at face of the villains and just block always, and other characters will be just shooting the villain from the distance, and she can just tank hits like there's she is so fine with that. And then she also has some high hits, like this one is hitting very high. She's hitting a lot of defense with auto damage, so that's pretty cool. And also she has 7s. So very simple character that is drawing a lot of cards. She's very defensive, very controlly, and her like major advantage is that she's very tanky, and that's probably the most satisfying thing like about her, that you can just take like even 10 damage to the face and then just heal it with this and this, which is like totally like Sigma move. I like this. This deck is awesome. The character is terrible, but the deck is actually awesome. So yeah, when it comes to theme, it's actually 0 out of 10, maybe 1, because yeah, the cards are pretty cool. Also, the art in this set I really like. It's very unique. The art will be getting like 8. It's so cool, and the details like 8 for me. This also. When it comes to like theme, like I said, 1. When it comes to art, also 8. And when it comes to fun to play, for me, it's like actually probably like 7, 8. She's very fun. Like she's weak, but very fun in this playstyle that you can just sit somewhere and just take hits and be totally fine with that. She's similar to Maldun, that she can just sit somewhere and totally, be fine. but now you are not like using your traps to not caring, you are using your huge health bar to not caring about the opponent, and that's pretty fun. And then when it comes to competitive, sadly she is very weak. She is like 1 out of 10. She's countering almost nobody. I mean, she can win against other like B or C tier characters because they will just not kill her with their damage. But yeah, she's weak. She's like 1 out of 10 in competitive, or maybe 2 in some cases. But yeah. And then we got the map, and this map is probably one of my favorite from the whole Unmatched. I really like that. I like that we got the one dark jungle in one part of the map, and then we got the street here. I like this, and then another forest here. I like to use it for the imagining of some battles that one side is going from one side of the jungle, other is coming from this side of the jungle, and they're battling like here or here. It's very cool. This map for me is like 10 out of 10. It's very like cool. You always will be able to reach the opponent somewhere. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stupid scenarios about this part because you can just block those paths with sidekicks or even those paths. And now the opponent is just not able to reach you if you're standing here. So it's sometimes kinda terrible to play on this map, unfortunately. But overall, I would say when it comes to theme and when it comes to fun, this is actually a fun set. Like fun map. So yeah, very friendly for aggro characters, very friendly for control characters, very friendly for sidekick characters. Fatigue characters are not actually that fine with that, but they're still like cool. So yeah, cool map for everybody. I actually like this. So now for the actual comparisons, Raptors versus InGen. Yeah, I will give you the stats, what I think about the sets. How fun to play, I would give it 7, like straight up. Map is super fun, like map is awesome. Muldoon, when you are able to actually dominate the opponent and control his whole battlefield, he's actually like 10 out of 10, but whenever you are not able to do this, he's like 2 out of 10, he's just so boring. So he's somewhere in the middle. Raptors are very fun, also very hit or miss. If you're able to rush the opponent in the early game, they are super fun with their huge combo. But also, if you are just not able to do this, the game just drags on and you have to just back off, get cards, and try to rush them again. So I would give it 7. How good and competitive? I would say this set is actually very like good and competitive. Maybe not that good, but those two characters are very good counters. And if you know, in your like tournaments, more important is to have good counter picks than good characters overall. Because good characters overall can be countered by their like good counter picks. And those are awesome counter picks. Like Raptors are great, like I said, against like fighters that don't have a lot of like bodies on the table and don't have a lot of defenses, so they can just be rushed early. Muldoon is great against melee characters and some other like even fatigue or whatever fighters, they're just pretty like fine with that. And then art on this card. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of this one. It's very, very like simple. I know it's the art of the old Unmatched, so it's it has like people who are loving it, but I'm not one of those people. I'm not that nostalgic towards this art. It's very symbolic, but I'm not like loving it, so I'll give it like somewhere like 4, unfortunately. And overall, this set is like 6 out of 10. I would probably give it even higher, like 7. But yeah, I'm not like this set is mandatory to get. It feels old, what I'm trying to say. This set is overall very old. And you feel like it's old. So for me, this is like 6 out of 10. Still worth buying, for sure. But if the price of this sets will be so high, unless you are a competitive player or you are just a huge fan or Jurassic Park, you should just not get this set. It is just not that worth it, I would say, unfortunately. And then T-Rex versus Sattler. Again, like, if you will get the perfect game with T-Rex, is so fun. But if opponent is like constantly running away and you are never able to reach him, this is just a cruel experience, very boring. And then Sattler, I would say she's always fun to play. She is very fun. Thematically, she's not fun to imagine what she's doing, but the deck is awesome. I'm loving this one deck. And map is also very fun. However, I would say T-Rex is dragging the sets like very low because, like I said, surprisingly against many fighters, she's just very, very boring to play because you are just not able never to reach them. You have to boost constantly, and then they're just running away again. So we have to find the cards to get close to them. This is just not fun. How good and competitive? Unfortunately, very low because Sattler, like I said, she's like not viable, competitive at all. And T-Rex, while you can like win with T-Rex in you are on the smaller map, then you are just absolutely like obliterating some characters like right away. There's like no discussion. You're just killing them on smaller maps. But on the bad maps, like big maps, big maps, you are just cooked so much, and this is just not viable competitively at that point. And if you are buying this set for competitive reasons alone, yeah, T-Rex might be a good character, but it's just she's not even like countering that many characters. Even she's just outvaluing them with stats and those things. So I would say when it comes to competitive, just don't buy it. When it comes to art, yeah, I like this art. This art is very cool. I like that it's more of the unique side of the art. It's not the same like some other sets. So I like this art. It's not comic art. I don't know how to even name it. It's like from a book or something, but it's cool. It's cool art. Overall, I will give it set 5 out of 10. And that's probably because the competitive aspect is dragging it like very low, but I think this set is like still very fun. I am just summing up the numbers and then just splitting them, so that's why this is the number that we'll be getting here. But overall, this is like very, very, very fun set. If I would have to recommend, maybe I will get. Oh my god, what's happened to? Yeah, thanks for watching. But thanks for watching. Hide herself. What? Okay. So, when it comes to both of those sets, I would say, from what I remember, T-Rex set is not now costing like absolute huge money. Like Raptor set, you are still able to get for a somewhat decent price. But T-Rex set is like exploding. Like this is actually like somewhat not even funny at this point. They can be cost like higher than Buffy set. Which is like, if I would have to pick between T-Rex and Buffy, I would pick Buffy, like all the way. But yeah, if you want to like, for example, pick one set, because you are like, okay, I love Unmatched, I love Jurassic Park, I want to pick one set, so which one I should get? I would just straight up tell you, it depends which dinosaur you like more. If you like T-Rex more, and you like the idea of just running around the table with a huge T-Rex, then get T-Rex set. And then Sattler is a cool addition, very cool addition. And then, if you like raptors, those small guys that are very intelligent, very like fast, they are just surrounding the prey and then just attack together. If you like the idea of those guys, just pick this set. And then Maldon is very cool addition also. Like this is basically the only like tip I can give you. Because at that point, those sets I would say are pretty similar. Those fighters, like I said, are just hit or miss. If you will just perfect your game plan, It's very fun, like all of them. All of those guys except Sattler, they're specified in one playstyle, and if they will be able to just perform that playstyle, it's so fun. But if they're not able to perform that playstyle, it's somewhat like boring or straight up unfun. Like in case of T-Rex, if you are just being countered by fast characters, it's just not fun at all. So yeah, if I would buy one set and have to like get rid of one set for the like rest of my life, this is very like hard question. But I would probably go with T-Rex and Sattler because those two fighters are in the map are very like fun, like actually fun. But this set, it's more strategical, it's more demanding, and yeah, I would just find myself picking those fighters more often than those fighters. Why also those fighters being better in competitive while those are not that good. So yeah, in my eyes, probably T-Rex Sattler I would pick. When you want to pick a set for competitive, of course, go for Raptors InGen. If you want to go for fun to play, it's up to you. Like I said, pick whatever dinosaur you like more. So that's probably the good answer. And in the end, if you are able, just buy both of them while you still can, because if they run out, it will be so sad. Like those are one of the most unique fighters, maybe not unique, most fun fighters by theme. And yeah, if you are able, just get both of them and be happy. So yeah, that was it. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next one. Peace.